Good evening, Sharpies. I am Frozone.
I am Mrs. Flippity Gibbet. We just making
Where's
this.
my super suit? So, um, we have, in honor of our good American citizens in the city of Minneapolis. That was my Janet Jackson call out from Love Will Never Do Without You. We have Sign of the Times. I went and grabbed the Prince logo from the iconic album. I don't know how many of you all went to see the re-release of that concert movie when it dropped in theaters. So they released Purple Rain earlier last year, and then later in the year they re-released Sign of the Times. And I took my boys to see Purple Rain the first time because they had never seen Purple Rain. They certainly hadn't seen Apollonia 25 feet tall on a screen. Blessings. And then I went to see Sign of the Times, which is a very different, it's a literal concert movie, but it's a concert movie in the vein of like Pink Floyd's The Wall, where it's not just them playing music. There's like little
Right.
cut scenes and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
way before Beyonce did Lemonade, he did Sign of the Times.
Way before we got
Prince was
Sign.
so ahead of his time. He
I
was
mean,
using emojis in the 80s.
absolutely. He had, so I Will Die For You. It was an I,
Mm-hmm.
and then the number 4, and then
Mm-hmm.
just the letter U. So Prince was doing all the things. Famously changed his name from Prince to an unpronounceable symbol, and then went by the artist until he got his masters back. So,
And I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it. I really don't know if
uh-huh.
he found that symbol and stylized it to be his guitar, or if the symbol came later, because that is also the symbol for male female combined. You know
It
what I'm saying?
is. So what he did was,
I
what
see it in
I
a
think
lot
he
of
did,
like I've had a couple of people who are in the trans community
uh-huh.
see my shirt and be like, "Cool shirt," and I'm like, "Thank you." But I
You
don't
needed
want
to,
to, like, I don't have
yes.
time as walking by to say this is actually Prince's name. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it is a bunch of different things, and the combination of the male and female is a theme that runs through a lot of his music.
Mhm. Could you be a
Controversy,
happy boy or a girl? Hmm.
yeah.
So again,
If
he
I
was
Was Your
accepting of.
Girlfriend. I mean, he's been and I mean, the man wears high heels and lace panties sometimes. So he was doing all of the things, and truly, I mean, that hit me honestly. That hit me worse than MJ and Whitney Houston.
Hmm.
Prince
Hmm.
Prince rocked me
Yeah,
when
I was,
that
man. I
I
was
was
in.
shaking it.
I was on a plane when they announced it
Oh
as we were
wow.
landing in Houston, and when we got off the plane in Houston, there's a piano in the middle of the Southside Airport, Hobby Airport, and when we landed, he was playing Purple Rain on the piano. And when I tell you, it was a whole vigil.
Oh, I
Everybody in the
know it
airport.
was.
Hmm.
I remember on
Wait, wait,
SNL.
wait, wait.
Oh, go ahead.
We have to start the show because we
Yeah,
we
we
got
do.
on a tangent
Well,
with Prince.
It's still Minneapolis. So just the last thing, because we're still under 5 minutes. This is a good, as much as anything to attribute to Minneapolis is to celebrate Prince. On
Michael.
SNL, when he died, Maya Rudolph was in a Prince cover band called Princess,
Mm.
and she and her bandmate sang, I think, Sometimes It Snows in April, which is, my God. First of all, Parade is a somewhat underrated album because it was associated with a movie that didn't do so well. It was the follow-up,
Right.
a follow-up to Purple Rain. And I love Under the Cherry Moon. I really do. Um, but Sometimes It Snows in April is kind of like, it's the closing song because it's a celebration of the character Christopher Tracy, who was
Mhm.
tragically killed. Go see it if you can. It's all in black and white, which is a big stylistic choice for Prince. But anyway, we do has ourselves a shoe. So yes, absolutely, Mike Bartlett. She is amazing. Check her out on season 2 of Loot
Mhm.
on
Yeah,
Apple
and
TV.
Shout out to the chat room because y'all have been lit tonight. They started conversations before we finished the intro. I love it.
Okay. Somebody got booted. All right.
Yeah, it was. We even had our first troll, so we booted the troll.
Okay, troll. I saw that person. Oh yeah, Mike Bartlett commenting on Prince. Okay, so since our last show, the reason this show is dedicated to Minnesota is that Ice and Bovino, who is no longer in Minnesota, and 50 Stacks Homan, who is a hoe, is in Minnesota, gargling marbles and trying to hold a press conference by whispering, which didn't know what that combination was supposed to be. But we had another citizen murdered. Not the second citizen, because there have been other citizens across the country and immigrants who have been murdered. But the second one in the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
Both in Minnesota. And this time there was more coverage, more phones, unambiguously showing how he was literally murdered. And so that shook even Stephen Miller, because Stephen Miller went right out there and said, thank you, Bob Breeden. Stephen Miller came out right away and said he was a domestic terrorist. He had the extra clips. He was trying to wreak maximum damage. Bovino said that. Kristi Noem came out and said that. And then by the time it got onto Trump's desk, it was very clear that all of them were.
Yeah.
Not even out the side of their mouth.
Like open face lying to you, do not believe your eyes type of line.
Yeah. 1984, many true lies.
Yeah.
Just crazy. And so that resulted in Bovino and his Hugo Boss Nazi era overcoat getting booted. Initially, he said that no one would ever know the names of the officers because there's this thing called doxing. Oops. Both of those persons have been put on leave, paid leave, at least for now, but they are not in the streets assaulting other citizens, which is a win as far as I'm concerned. So we stand in solidarity with Minnesota and Minneapolis, especially. Shout out to these brave patriots who are going out in sub-zero weather.
Right.
And throwing water balloons and ravaging their cars. I mean, I don't know if you saw did you see the picture? There was a video. The ICE guys were running through the streets and the people in the neighborhood were like, oh, these are the ICE cars? And I mean, they jacked those cars up.
That's hilarious.
Took the extra armaments in the back of the car, spray painted, broke open the
did hear about that.
I mean, they went to town. So it was really great. Okay, so we have a bunch of people.
We have several trolls in our chat room, but I'm just not putting those comments up. So I got the chat room covered. Don't worry. Wow, Thank you for the numbers, though, people. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Hey, listen, trolls. I mean, go on ahead and troll. We must be doing something right.
Exactly.
We're troll. So this is an amazing development. So at any rate, we have a situation where it looks like there's been enough blowback, both in news and polling and Republican legislators who are like, yeah, but no. There's a critical vote on extending the budget, and that omnibus and the minibus did not go through. Mike Johnson sent the House home, and since he sent the House home, it went to the Senate. The Senate was not going to approve the House version of the bill, and so where we are is that government shutdown is coming in a few hours, and there's probably not going to be a way around that. But we are where we are. So that's kind of the consequence of living in the divided government that we have right now.
Right. And the thing is, we've been here before. This is not new. And it's going to continue to be a problem. Hang on, let me get rid of
I just did it.
Okay. Yeah. So we're learning new things today. So there's this thing you can do where you can ban somebody and delete all their comments. And so we just did that, and it was great. And we're probably going to do it again.
Oh no, I see. Oh, you got another one, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But this comment right here, and you know what? I'm glad you're here, Phil. So about a third of my neighbors are CBP, DHS, and have been out of town for weeks. A lot of them started returning a couple days ago. Very interesting. Where they been and where they coming back from, right? The Senate has reached a tentative agreement to split DHS spending and keep the government open. Okay.
That was the best possible outcome because the DHS funding was not going to move. And so they were trying to negotiate a split. They were going to calve off
between DHS. Michael and Bob. I need y'all need to be like Sharpalinas or something, like our Sharpie correspondents, sharp checking.
Yeah, we're going to go to Bob and Mike in the comment section. Bob, go ahead and take us where we're going to go. That's kind of where we are. And so it is very clear that there are some subtle things changing. And among the things that kind of, I think, shook the Trumpian White House was that the Alex Preddy murder happened earlier in the day of the night they were screening the Melania travesty in a makeshift White House.
Travesty.
Well, I mean, the viewing room, the movie theater, used to be in the East Wing. And of course, there is no East Wing anymore. So sharp checkers. Okay.
Yeah.
We like that too. So thank you, Bob and Michael. So basically, they had to cobble together something. And they just had a few people. The screening room at the White House only accommodates 40, so they had some people there. And Donald probably was unable to stay awake through the whole thing because he wasn't able to offer any more commentary other than, I've watched some of it and it's great. So go buy tickets, posting tweets saying tickets are selling fast, which they absolutely are not.
Did you see the tweet? I think you sent it to me. Wait.
Oh, no, I got it.
Hilarious. But in one of the tweets, he misspelled his own wife's name.
Oh.
And now here's the thing about that. I have several words that I use so often that my phone knows that that's the word I'm trying to spell. Deltaversary being a great example, right?
Correct.
I type that all the time. And so now if I type in Delta, it puts versary on there. And so if you type your wife's name a lot, your phone should autocorrect because they know that you're typing the woman's name that you use all the time. And so for his tweet to say Melanie, bruh.
It's interesting because Phil comments that 40 viewers are all that they're likely to get. And a couple of our trolls came in and talking about our numbers. There are more viewers watching our show right now than have purchased tickets in Boston. And the reason I know that is that they have gone onto Craigslist and they're offering you a free ticket plus $50 if you are willing to attend the Melania documentary at any Boston area theater during this opening weekend, but you must remain in your seat for the entirety of the film.
Wow.
Now, I used to be in the music business. There used to be a thing, whatever. There was a thing called payola in the 50s and 60s where you would literally pay record station or radio stations to play your record. And when people started playing the record, people listened to the record. If it was a good record, it kind of catch fire.
You're right. They're not going to pay them if they don't.
Well, there's that. There's that, Chan. I want the cash. I want to see the cash. And you better give me something.
Same time, I don't know you.
Right. Yeah. So Drake flipped it because streams are so important in the game now. Drake was buying streams. Famously, he is now involved in a RICO case because he was using the proceeds off of his gambling site to fund the streams that he was buying for some sexy songs for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then ultimately he tried to tease out all of these songs for the Iceman or whatever that album was going to be called, decided to shelve that album because it was discovered that the streams were fake. So that's what we're doing. You are paying people a movie ticket in Los Angeles in the evening will cost you about $24, $22, pretty much. Back east in Boston, I don't think it's that much. In New York, it may be 20-something dollars. I don't think that it's that much in Boston. They are willing to pay you about 2.5 to 3 times the cost of a ticket plus the ticket. So you're talking about between $75 that they are spending per seat when they've spent $35 million to market the film and spent $40 million to acquire the film. Now, this is not a movie that costs anywhere near $40 million to produce. No. This is a documentary on the outside. Because think about it. She has her own wardrobe. You're not buying any wardrobe. It's a documentary.
Mm-hmm.
She has free transportation. She has government paid for accommodation wherever she goes. You can set up in New York in her apartment for free. You can set up at Mar-a-Lago for free. You can set up at the White House for free.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. $2 million, maybe. It covered 20 days. And they weren't burning that much film because 8 hours at least of each of those days she was asleep.
Well, somebody did say earlier that this is just a money laundering.
It absolutely was part of it. It absolutely is a money laundering thing because for Jeff Bezos, it made more sense to pay $75 million to make sure he wasn't regulated, to make sure that he gets the contract with the Amazon data farms providing video and data services, all of those sorts of things. It's a scheme, not unlike what Elon Musk was doing, but it's with Bezos. And Bezos cares about $75 million. He doesn't. He does not care about $75 million. It's probably a good investment on his part.
So far, it's earned $3 million.
Woo!
Cost $40 million to produce and $40 million in advertising. Wow.
Well, and here's the thing: the movie theaters get half of that. So it doesn't even go back to Bezos.
Well, they spend their money how they want, you know.
Hey, listen, I'm not counting their pockets. It is a tax. Well, I don't know that it's taxpayer subsidized because they knew what it was going to cost and they knew what Bezos was giving them, so they knew they were coming out on top of the grift anyway. So
but the moral to this story is, girl, what as far as this movie is concerned.
Here's the thing. I don't know if anybody has actually watched the trailer. The thing that stood out to me about the trailer was the opening line and the closing line. The opening line is, "Here we go again." And then the closing shot of the trailer, after we walk through the big white letters on screen to become the first lady and da-da-da-da-da, it's Donald Trump on the phone with her. And she says, "Congratulations, Mr. President." And he says, "Are you watching?" "Oh, no. I see it on the news later." Click, Melania. So it's like, there are a lot of theories out there. I don't know if you've heard this, Joy, that it's a Dom-sub relationship. And that he gets off on being humiliated by her.
I could believe that. I could absolutely believe that.
Behind the scenes, I would 100% believe that. But for her to say that about him in the trailer, more people are going to see the trailer than are going to see the movie. And because it's only 2 minutes, it's easy to remember that one part. That's not cool. First of all, why isn't your wife with you on election? So there's that. Keeping up with the Kardashians. My God. Michael, I feel like you were trying to earn the Chan post-comment intensity award for the evening. You are on Fibra right now. So
she's bruising his hands.
Bob Brennan coming through the clutch. It is a very interesting thing, a dynamic. Now,
Mhm.
it's been said for years that she had a prenup, but when he was elected, she renegotiated the prenup because she
Mhm.
knew if she divorced him or left, then it would be devastating. It would shatter his image. So she renegotiated. And then when he won this time, she renegotiated again. She had Barron. And so Barron was the guarantee. Barron is cool. So, but this $40 million promise, this is literally Sharon Stone in Casino with a bag
Yeah.
of jewels that were just for her. That was her escape hatch. She
Mhm.
knew she was gonna be taken care of.
She
Because
can leave him with this money.
well, and once he's no longer above ground,
Or she already knows she ain't in the will. Or that it's all goes collapsing, there's nothing to get. So she's like, let me
well,
get
there
my bag, literally bag right now.
absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she's going to get money from the estate, but this 40 million was just like, why not?
Right.
I don't
If you're
care.
just
Do
stealing money,
you
yeah, just take it.
steal?
But yeah, you're right. A whole lot of people, if people are going to watch the movie out of loyalty to that party, to MAGA, because she's their first lady. No one else is going to watch this movie. And did they even release it outside the US? I would imagine not.
Well, no, they did.
What?
And in the UK, it was fits and starts. 4 seats, 1 seat, 2 seats. But where it is not going to be shown is in South Africa. Because South Africa said, nah, we're
Yeah.
good. We're just going to yank it from every theater. Now, that's probably not in any small part because Trump has been telling lies about a racial genocide in South Africa and disinvited South Africa from the G20 when it's going to be hosted. Supposedly, it's going to be hosting the United States next year. Don't know if that's going to happen or this year. That's up in the air as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody who wants to come to the United States. So, good Lord. There's a whole, I don't know if it's kink shaming. There's a whole lot of kink knowledge going on in chat right now. So
yeah,
that's
hey, the chat is open-minded.
Yes. Yeah, it does. It definitely is giving dominant. And listen, that's a heck of a domination.
He reached for her hand and she slapped it away.
Yes,
it gives a different color to that now, right?
And they was speaking of, this is my infinity ring.
Nice.
With the infinity stones in it, and it says on the side what they are. So I used this to snap away our trolls earlier.
Nice. It's very nice. But we do have some other stuff we gotta talk about.
We do have some other things to talk about. Where do you want to go next, Joy?
I had one thing. What did I put in here that I want to talk about? So actually, that's him up on screen right now. Our good buddy Phil is a bit of a, what do we call this? What are you doing? Oh,
I'm making space.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Our good buddy Phil is, we'll say he's former military, and we'll leave it at that. This article came out in the Washington Post, and it was talking about the tools that they have in their arsenal. And so that is more than just, they got a couple of hand-me-down, guns or whatever. No, let's just start talking about everything in there. But before I get into everything that's in there, the reason Phil sent me this, and he said I could quote him, is he goes, every one of these systems and tools he's worked with before. They are tested and developed here, where he lives. These tools exist to find, defend against, exploit potential or identified enemies, etc. These are basically national and international defense and theater of war tools. In the hands of these tools, in the hands of ICE, would be like handing a box of hand grenades to a demented and overzealous pest control tech. Like, that's where we are now. He goes, they're supposed to hunt and deter the bad guys, and now they're being used by the very terrorists that they were designed, tested, and developed to defeat. So that's the thing. And a lot of these are tightly controlled. You're supposed to be vetted, certified, know how to use, et cetera, right? All of that being said, I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. Oh Lord, we'll leave her there for a second. All of that being said, the mask, guns, tactical gear, yeah, we understood that they were going to get all of that. But they have Mobile Fortify, which enables ICE to immediately compare phone scans of faces and fingerprints that they encounter in the field. So it's like all your spy movies where somebody scans something. They actually have stuff like that. They got facial recognition software. They've got, which is why sometimes they have their phones out too, I believe. What else is in here? They have Clearview AI, which is an after-the-fact research tool that uses publicly available images. So if they take a picture of somebody, they can probably immediately go back through that person's like Facebook history, et cetera, and be able to show something. License plate readers. They've got cell site simulators. I don't even know what that is. Cell site simulators, also called stingrays, masquerade as cell towers and trick nearby cell phones to connect, allowing ICE officers to track a phone's location in real time. This remember Enemy of the State way back when?
Bro.
This is what's going on right now.
Right.
And I didn't even get through the rest of the list because it's really long and I got bored. But it's bad. They have high-tech tools of war. When we talk about the secret police, this is it. And it's not even a secret. They're out in the streets, acting like trigger-happy numbskulls, and they've got the most powerful tools available just walking around, which is why they feel so tough.
Right.
That's why they feel so gangster. Except, I'm not going to show the video because it overran our inward threshold.
Yes.
But there's a video out there. If you look up ICE meets gangsters in Compton, you'll get the video. So basically you see this guy, typical ICE agent, a little pudgy around the middle, arms not defined, but got the vest and stuff on, right? And
arms not defined.
The person recording this is like, what you thought, son? And he's not saying son. What you thought, son? You come up about son? Oh, no, y'all a gang. Y'all gangbangers, just like me, huh, son? Yeah, son, get out of here. And so when the guy heard gangbangers like me, when I tell you this agent got back in his truck and drove the F off. He got away. And so, miss me with all this tough guy, I can bench press, my grandma type of nonsense y'all be talking about how much they're in danger and how brave they are. They're not brave.
No.
And I promise you, I know what that little gangster looked like. Probably had denim shorts slung low, tied tight around the middle of his hips, some socks and slides on, and like a hat turned back, was probably a jean jacket or something puffy, like something along them lines. And he was afraid of him. He probably weighed $150 soaking wet. And he was afraid of him and got in his car and drove away. Now, if that had been a woman, he'd have beat her up and took her to the ground.
Right. Pushed her onto the ground.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that ICE notably did this week was attempt to insert themselves into an Ecuadorian consulate.
Mm-hmm.
And they thought they were just going to come in and just go all over the place. And the guy was like, no. And he had to walk from the back all the way to the front. The guy was at the front door trying to come in. He said, you can't come in here. You can't come in here. And he was like, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. He was like, this is not United States land. This is a consulate. This is our government space right now. You do not have permission to come in here. And he finally backed off. And then you had the video of the guy who said, if you raise your voice, I'll erase your voice.
Mm-hmm.
These dudes think that they are on top of the world.
Right.
Trump was going to send ICE folks to Italy for the Winter Olympics. And the Italians were like,
what for?
No.
Why would you do that?
And now it appears that they're going to be in a cramped room, a single room at the American consulate in Milan.
Why are they going to the Olympics?
Well, supposedly. And
just because they call ICE.
Correct. Immigration's custom enforcement. I think it's because it's his private army. You would think any sort of military needs, any sort of protecting, any sort of Secret Service sort of stuff could be handled by literally the military and the Secret Service since it's on foreign land. That's kind of the whole point. But it was ICE. They used the term ICE. The Italians were like, not even if it was Italian ICE. And so now they're way shut down. And in another nod to the inefficiency and the hatred that ICE is experiencing across the entire country is, remember when Christy Noem was talking about she's going to have ICE at the Super Bowl and don't come to the Super Bowl because she thought Bad Bunny meant that illegal immigrants or undocumented immigrants were going to be able to pay $20,000 for a goddamn Super Bowl seat when they can watch Bad Bunny for free at home. So they finally, the NFL was like, you're not doing this. You're not going to be harassing our fans. And so she had to step back. They have canceled all of the ICE stuff. There's a lot going on with some new folks in the chat,
and all these folks are bots. But I want to congratulate us on getting big enough to have them even bother.
That's amazing. I feel kind of like we're about to be put on some 4chan boards.
Right.
So,
that's right.
So that's going to be interesting over the next several weeks. I know what I have next up, which is the Anaconda Starships girl. Are we okay to move on to that?
One more thing. Hang on.
Sure.
What did I want to pull up? I talked about that. Did I get that video in here? No. Yeah. So, Mama, we made it. He's so silly. There is something I want to talk about, and I didn't get a chance to set it up. So, my sometimes boyfriend's son, Michaud.
Yes. Oh boy, he's on fire recently.
He is on fire right now, and he put out this thing this morning, and it basically said Black Americans don't owe you shit, right?
Yeah.
And he went in on everyone, even the Native Americans. Like nobody got by, no passes. And it was glorious, and it is also true. And I will, just out of general respect, take Native Americans off the list, although they did do some bullshit. But what we hear from nowadays is, a lot of communities of color that have a higher percentage of their community that tries to approximate whiteness. You know what I mean? More so than we do. And honestly, the only reason we have a lower level of people who try to pass is because we tried that already and it didn't work. And so we gave up on that. But other races, other ethnicities are still they still got a shot, right? It worked for the Jews, so maybe it could work for the rest of us, right? And it's not. But the reason I say this is when he put out that thing, he talked about how nobody stands with us. Nobody tries to hear our truth. Nobody really wants to be bothered with us when we are in a crisis or a time of need, right? We had a moment, like a hiccup of empathy when George Floyd was killed. And that's just because it was so public, right? If it hadn't been on video, we would have been business as usual. Nobody caring about what happens to Black folks. And participating in it is the other part, I'll teach this in some of my classes. If there's a bully in the room, the safest place to be is behind him.
Yep.
And this is where you see people are trying to approximate whiteness, standing behind the bully that is beating up on the Black community. But now that the bully has gotten a little wilder and is just swinging on everyone, why aren't the Black people stepping up? We don't owe you a thing.
Not Nan.
Right, because where have you been this whole time? Even the fact that they keep harping on the fact that ICE shot 2 people. ICE shot 8 people. Right. So are they not people? When it only matters to you now because you finally see someone that you deem human enough and good enough to warrant your sympathy. That's it.
And let's not forget, Alex Preddy was a licensed open carry gun owner. And the fact that his gun was taken away from him has set the 2A people's teeth on edge.
Wait, hang on. We've been ignoring these bot or these like, I don't know what you want to call them, but I'm gonna put this one up because I'm in the mood to read in somebody else's voice. So here's one of the comments that we've been trying to ban, for all night. All of you are really delusional and just gripe and cry all the time. Nothing has ever been said is anything that's helpful. This is racism. You're racist. Wow. And now we're gonna get rid of that.
Well, hold on. I just wanted to note before you send Angel Boucher into the dustbin of history, Bobby Boucher was more articulate than you, girly gal. So, I just really delusional and just grab and cry all the time. Nothing that's ever been said, anything that's helpful. This racist, you are racist. Wow. That's what my mama said. My mama said racism. Yeah, racism is the devil. So, bye-bye. Thank you for playing the game, Miss Boucher.
There's one more down, and we're going to ban him too, because if you're not even funny,
you're
not going to make it on stage. Right.
Racism and trolling, you have to, first of all, just for the people who are still watching the show, you need to come with your A game. You can't come to this show with shenanigans and foolishness. You have to come with your A game because I guarantee, this is what I guarantee, I will verbally smack the dog feces out of you. So you can come and try it, and it's easy enough for us to eliminate you when you do try to come into the party. So fine. You're keeping the streams up, and now you're telling your little friends you're trying to send the little ants.
Yeah, come on and try us because
it's fine because we do have the heat for you. Just
I'm about 85% smoke. Come choke if you want.
So, this speaking of people who are places that they shouldn't be, take a look at this person. Now, you might not recognize this person because they're wearing a big hat and they're half skulking behind a wall, and they're holding their cell phone up to their ear somewhat surreptitiously. They look like they're up to no good. That is D&I Tulsi Gabbard. And she is at a warehouse where the ballots from Georgia in the 2020 election have been held. And the FBI just came and took those because Donald Trump has been saying that the election was stolen, famously called the governor of Georgia and the Secretary of State of Georgia, who's over elections, and said, just find me 11,000 votes. We know the votes are there. So, oh, wow, Bob. Actually, I think she probably is not. She's probably waiting for her Applebee's gift certificate worth $50 to go see Melania. And I don't know. She could certainly be a Slovakian asset, Slovenian asset. Melania Naus. And who knows? Her son is kind of out there. They were talking about trying to marry him off to a princess of Denmark because that was going to be the way they were.
Well, not now. The way he'd been acting about Greenland.
Oh no! That was the point. That was going to be the dowry. They really thought Baron, who is not a king or a prince, whose father is going to be out of office in 2 years, that was the equivalent of being a princess of Denmark, and the dowry was going to be Greenland. And Denmark was like, I will build you a Lego house of prison. And you can sit in the prison. And we will put the glue. Oh, boy. See, this is your first time in...
you know what? The funny thing is, I'm not sure if that's about or not. So we'll leave him for now. If he cuts up, then we'll do something else.
Yeah, because guess what? There's no mispronunciation of English in here. Just to be clear, you see two people who are Black and you think that we are not educated and don't know how to pronounce words. You're kind of silly, Kung Fu Chicken 08. And I'm guessing that that's a bot.
Yeah.
Just because Kung Fu Chicken 08 is
sounds like something randomly generated.
Yeah, that's crazy work. Yeah, it is. He is kind of giving Damien vibes. The
Even when he was younger, he did.
Teenage Damien from the Omen 2.
And make no mistake, it wasn't about his facial features or his expression. It was the bowl cut. Just giving straight Damien.
Well, in the second movie, he doesn't have a bowl cut. In the second movie, he is giving, because he was actually evil. It was, oh boy, Michael. Daddy, no. Yeah, in the first movie, he was just riding that big wheel and knocking his mama off of balconies and stuff. In the second movie, he was actually doing some of the evil stuff himself. So,
but
I mean, is it better to be Hitler or the Antichrist? 6'7". I don't know. Yes, we can code switch. Yeah, it's not that we're incapable of using that language. It's just that we don't fall into patterns where we slip into that language, because this is a public affairs program, and both of us are knowledgeable and educated. So we don't feel as though we have to be in code switch mode when we're doing this. But we can get up. We will nuck.
Yeah. I used to tell people, some, like, a lot of folks would say, do you think I'm intimidating? They would ask me. I was like, you're not intimidating. People are just intimidated. And now I would like to reverse that. I am unable to be intimidated. I ain't never scared. So do what you want. Right. And also always be wary. If a Black woman slowly smiles at you, you don't want to know what's coming next. Okay. Just let you know that.
We are on the internet right now, and if Joy begins to smile at you, you should lock your windows. If you're in Slovenia watching on a troll farm in, like, Belarusia, then you should lock your windows, because you don't know.
Ilhan, we forgot about that.
Let's do that. Yep, let's get into Ilhan.
The richest.
Right.
So shout out to Richard Smith that is watching the show. This is my friend since the 9th grade. And so, yes, he does understand. Run. Dun, 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 dun.
So, Joy, why don't you take this, because it's, it's technically a part of our Minnesota segment, but this Minnesota segment has come back all the way around now. So let's just see
how we wandered our way back over here. So
it's the weave.
So those of you who haven't seen the clip, Ilhan Omar was giving like a town hall speech. And I'm side-eyeing her security team for this. So while she's talking to the people out there, one of the guys who's up front, maybe he was supposed to be with press or something, but he's on the front row, like kind of kneeling down. And then he jumps up and squirts something at her, like a spritz bottle or whatever. He sprays her.
Syringe. It was in a syringe.
Using a syringe, because it came out with like a squirt. Yeah. And says something to her, and then her security tackles. But here's the thing: as security was tackling him, Ilhan was like she was ready. She was ready to buck. And it was such a quick thing, and it was such a reflexive thing. Right. She'd been in some fights in her life. I feel like she either got siblings or she got bullied in middle school and had to learn how to fight back. Chick got hands, though. Don't ever doubt that.
Ilhan said, "I am the captain now."
Right?
She was ready. Now, Chan, what I have heard, because I don't know if it was completely analyzed, but it smelled like vinegar. That was what they said. So I don't know if it was it could have been, some fecal material that had been stewing in some whatever. It could have only been vinegar, but I don't know why that's attacking a sitting member of Congress.
Yes.
So you just gonna squeeze vinegar on somebody and go to jail? Like, just to squirt vinegar? I'm happy thinking that it's vinegar. I'd be very pleased if that's all it was. but it seems to me like it probably was something a little bit more nefarious. But if it turns out just to be vinegar and that's what it
Yeah.
is, then
So
that's fine.
cider
Okay,
vinegar.
so cider vinegar.
So
Okay.
so the guy was foolhardy, but not a fool.
Yeah.
Because
I
if
mean,
that had been any form of like acid or caustic or whatever, attempted murder.
right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's boy. That's
Yeah,
not a
either
nice
that
look.
or he just pulled whatever smelled funny at his house. He's like, this
Right.
is the stinkiest thing I got on me.
Well, I doubt that's true.
Mm, mm. You're not
but,
wrong. You're not wrong.
but certainly it was what he could distill and get into a syringe.
Right.
And who knows? All we do know, because almost immediately, Trump came out. It was staged. It was so clearly staged. It's like, except he's been posting right wing stuff for
Mm-hmm.
years.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I just
Whatever. Mm-hmm.
boo doo boo boo boo.
Yep. We're blocking it.
Yeah, we're blocking it. So I'd like to jump on to a person who I never really respected, but I used to enjoy some of her songs, which is Nicki Minaj. Now, famously, Nicki Minaj lost almost her entire fan base overnight by jumping out in front and saying that she was basically with Trump now. Putatively, it was because, putatively, it was because there were Nigerians that were involved in shenanigans, and the word on the street is that they were quote unquote persecuting Christians. That's not the case. They were not persecuting Christians. They are not persecuting Christians. But Trump used that as an excuse, and she decided she was going to ride with it. And so she endorsed Trump's actions of bombing another sovereign nation, and then went to I don't know if it was Turning Point. She went to some place and had a little sit down and was talking some trash. And immediately her fans were like, "Oh, not Cardi T."
I love this.
Jan, you are stepping on. Okay, so now I just got to show the daggone picture. Yes, she is an undocumented immigrant, has been for more than a decade, probably more than 2 decades, and was talking about it. But I paid millions in taxes and da 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 da. Well, she actually paid for a Trump gold card. I think they're $5 million.
Mm-hmm.
And so she got a fast-tracked immigration status. Her husband is still an adjudicated pedophile and sex offender. And so you've got that.
That's the only way that she could have gotten that, because I don't think she would have been allowed. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is really.
Did they really give it to her for free?
Oh, hell no. How is that doing it the right way?
It must have been the campaigning and the trying to infiltrate the moderates and liberals in her fan base, and her entire, but like you said, her entire fan base was like, "Girl, bye."
She had to leave Instagram again.
Mm-hmm. Again.
Wow.
But yeah, it's true. Yep.
That is crazy.
Phil is not known for exaggerating. So
exaggerating. No, listen. We have a whole shark checkers.
Oh, she can't afford it. She can't pay her adjudication. I mean, yeah.
Sounds eclectic to me.
Sounds real eclectic.
Super eclectic.
Mm-hmm.
That boom, 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 boom bass. Yeah, talking about that super, 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 super bass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, Data. So, as we come to the last 10 minutes of the show, we are at 50 minutes. Just want to remind folks that this entire administration is being blasted with the worst polling, the worst approval ratings. People in the House, GOP members of the House, are announcing their retirement at record numbers. We got another one who announced this week from Florida He's in his 70s, so that's, you know, a little
Mm-hmm.
bit more legitimate than some of these people. You had a gubernatorial candidate in Wisconsin, in Minnesota,
Who was
step
like, nah.
aside.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I can't do it. Now, supposedly, he's either providing legal counsel to Jonathan Ross, so that's not great.
Mm. I mean, common interest.
Birds of a feather
Mm-hmm.
flock together. So you got the Minnesota, and I don't know what that means for Tim Walz. Tim Walz feels like he said he wasn't going to run again. So, but now his competition has stepped out. Who knows?
Nah, just this. No.
Yeah, I don't.
They're not even making sense anymore. They just be throwing out words.
Right. Nobody
Zebra,
said that
monkey,
Mike Johnson.
Ashley Larry.
Yeah.
Whatever. But anyway, but pursuant to what you were just talking about, which was what? Because my mind lost it. Menopause.
I was just talking about all of the people in the Trump administration that are and the congressperson who just announced retirement, and the
all the retirements. Yeah, I'd say that is, and I struggle to find a word that is more fitting at the moment, even though this is not a good way to describe it. It's a bitch move. And the reason I say that is they could stay there in their positions, renounce what's happening, take their current power to say, nah, this is all some BS. Instead, they know it's BS, but they're going to ride it out, keep themselves safe, collect this check and do effectively nothing, and then be like, I had to retire because it was getting too crazy. Why didn't you fight the crazy? That's what we sent you there to do. And I mean, I look sideways at the Democrats and some of the BS they be doing, but I double side the Republicans that know this is wrong. In your heart, because a lot of them are not evil. A lot of them are actual like legal scholars and whatnot, and they know what is happening is terrible. But instead of standing up to, honestly, a tiny-handed tyrant, instead of standing up to him, they're all bending the knee to crazy. And, they're going to have to get right with God about that later. But retiring doesn't help things because he's got too many people in weird places that he could just throw up a candidate that is MAGA approved. And because he endorses them, they'll win in these smaller elections. You're giving up.
It'll be interesting to see in Florida, especially because Byron Donalds is abandoning his seat to run for governor. Now, I don't think Byron's gonna get it.
No,
I don't think Byron's gonna.
Not at all.
It's possible that Byron could get it. I don't think Byron's gonna get it. I don't know who on the Democratic side is uniquely qualified to put up the best challenge to a GOP candidate, but just given the way that things appear to be rolling in the state, it's not popular when American people get killed by state actors if they're white. Sorry, I should have added the codicil if they're white, because obviously black folks have been getting killed by state-sponsored actors forever. But this whole thing, and I mean, you talk about a perfect storm. Mike Preddy is a nurse who was caring for veterans. He was an open carry permit holder. He had and
a gun that he never pulled out. It was just back there.
Not pull out. And it's just like on the heels of Renee Good, a woman. And they've had to backtrack on both of those things. And so Kristi Noem looks like she's in hot water. Listen, y'all, not a brick has been laid about that ballroom. And there's a judge who said, nope, you got to stop. The money dried up. It was never congressionally approved. And the donations that were supposed to be pouring in aren't pouring in. So now it's kind of like a hard stop.
Stop reading the comments.
Oh, gee, Tammy, given how many people...
Since you don't talk about her. Yeah, more white people are killed by law enforcement. Yeah.
Wait. To be fair, more white PWAPL.
Oh, PWAPL, white PWAPL. I'm not sure what qualifies as PWAPL. But yeah, I don't have to do my research.
White PWAPL are killed by law enforcement, I guess.
It's called population, idiot. But go off.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Black people are 13% of the
Right.
population.
Actually,
Oh, by
Paul,
the
the
way,
NRA. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. NRA crickets. That's true, Paul. Although some people who are members of the NRA are talking about taking their money back because the NRA hasn't come out with a statement in support of his rights. And by the way, Tammy, since you're girly gal, it absolutely does. In case you're not keeping up with the news,
Stop talking to her so I don't have to put these up.
Everything that is above ground has to be approved. They're building the bunker now because technically it's underground. You don't just get to do whatever you want. First of all of the previous improvements to the White House came under congressional bills designed for the purposes of refurbishing the White House. It wasn't just, I have a check, I get to come and tear down the East Wing. That's not how it works. And by the way, Tammy, since you're talking about more white people are killed, you're also taking more welfare. More welfare, more government support than any immigrant population.
More of y'all are poor. And this, the legacy media doesn't even report when a white person is killed by Black people because they go to jail.
But also, people try to exercise a little bit of critical thinking. Black cops, Black state agents aren't killing white people. Crime is crime. White people kill white people. Black people kill Black people. White people kill Black people. Black people kill white people.
Oh, now people it's like, who cares? Yeah, girl, bye.
Who cares who's on Woolfare? Girl. Grammarly is not that expensive.
Neither is spell check. Because you know what? Even as you type in comments, your phone tries to tell you that spell wrong.
It tries to tell you.
Just an extra second,
But here's the thing. All of you who bring up these are called straw man arguments. They are not relevant to the actual conversation. Nobody is saying that. And first of all, crime gets reported every night. I don't know why we'd even try to pretend that a person who is killed doesn't show up on the crime blotter.
Wait. You're effeminate. Thank you.
You look like a matchstick.
You know what? I'm going to stop playing with them people if you get all up in arms about it. You can't go back and forth with them. You just got to either let it ride or make fun of them. But because you're not going to convince any of them of anything that you're saying.
There's no convincing. It's fine, and
we're not going to resort to name calling and stuff because that's just dropping down to their level. Just let it roll off.
No, you're right. Father, son, 5907. So, as we come to the close of this episode of Steel Sharpens Steel Troll Edition, we would just like to say there's a thing called the Google, and the Google will actually answer almost any question you put into it. But you've got to get out of your epistemic bubble. If you want to break that down to magic mirror words, your group of stupid friends, if you want to venture out of your group of stupid friends and actually go to some sources that may give you some form of balance, then you might be better prepared to come to a show like this. But if you're going to come with sauce that thin, that sauce is so thin, Cracker Barrel wouldn't even serve it. That's thin sauce. That's thin.
Smooth-brained shenanigans. Absolutely.
Be better. Or be better. Be best. Be best. I mean, you say man. I don't know if I would say man, but
and that's why we rocks with you, Mike.
Yeah.
But going back to what we were saying, Melania's movie is stupid. And
Melania's movie is stupid. And to end
that East Wing is never going to be fixed.
East Wing, well, it's not going to be a ballroom.
It's not going to be a ballroom, but it's going to be a while before it gets fixed.
It's going to be a while. And here's the thing, epistemic bubble, epistemic crisis, one of our favorite content creators. He's been counting down. It used to be 4 to 6, then it became 3 to 5, and it became 2 to 4. Now it's 1 to 3 months. So the progression is progressing. And so either he's thinking because of the whole laundry list of ailments that the occupant is currently facing, that he may not be long. He's 79 years old. He's 79 years old.
Right.
It's not
Just
young.
give up the ghost.
Right. Just, you're right.
You know what
on
it
the
is. You know what it
biblical
is.
threshold.
You know what it is. The devil don't want him.
Ooh. And he keeps saying, I don't think I'm going to heaven. Maybe I'm going to a hotter place. I'm not sure.
Right. That's the thing. So where do you go when don't nobody wants you? He can't even go to limbo. He's stuck here. That's why he's rotting from the inside out. He already did. And his soul is trapped in there. Right.
Picture of Dorian Trump.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Except he's the picture.
He's the picture.
And
yes.
Somewhere there's a smooth, gorgeous painting.
Well, that's Barron.
Donald Trump from the 70s.
Right.
Where he has all his hair and he's shining and he's naturally tan.
Cheeseburger sauce.
Absolutely. Absolutely cheeseburger sauce. Shout out to California. It is actually Cheeseburger Week. It was a Pasadena food creator who was the first person to put a slice of cheese on a hamburger. It is Cheeseburger Week. Cuckoo!
That's funny. He's got a beautiful lake of fireside property waiting for him. I love that joke.
The flames are great. Mm-hmm. You never have to buy any charcoal. You can cook as many hot dogs and burgers as you want.
Trump Inferno Towers. Yeah.
Yeah, no one met him in Davos. Yeah. Yeah. Home Alone in Davos.
You got to hit the jaws and be down here by then.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Marifuego.
Marifuego. We have the best fans and audience. Not Trump Gattaca test tube babies.
Y'all a trip. You know what?
Other than the spelling error of Gattaca, you win. That's a good one, Phil.
That's a deep cut, and I appreciate it.
I
appreciate it. I immediately saw Jude Law.
And Ethan Hawke.
This is the last time a white person squashed their legs. Oh, that was terrible. That was terrible.
We did talk about Nicki Minaj, who is the opposite of Black excellence. I just want to give a shout out to Yaha Abdul Mateen II, who is starring as Wonder Man on Disney Plus. It is not what you'd expect. He is excellent. He is really, really good at playing an actor. He's so good at playing an actor that it's annoying how his lack of confidence permeates almost everything that he does. But it really is kind of a buddy show between him and Ben Kingsley as Trevor Slattery.
Once again,
he's Trevor Slattery. And so Simon Williams, who is the name of Wonder Man from the comics. There is an Eric Williams who's kind of a dick, that's the name of his brother in the comics, although he is not the Grim Reaper from the comics. He's just a dickhead older brother. But yes, he does have superpowers, and I do recommend it. It is not as openly campy as She-Hulk, which, by the way, She-Hulk was a very faithful translation of the comic book, just in case anybody didn't know anything about She-Hulk.
I like She-Hulk.
She-Hulk was fine, and she's not coming back. She said she's done. She's not going to come back. So Daredevil Born Again Season 2 starting in about a month. But please, for now, go on to Disney Plus and watch Wonder Man. I think you will be pleased. And if you're looking for something a little bit more violent, both I and Joy endorse Mercy for None on Netflix. It is literally the Korean John Wick.
Yo, and with a better premise, because John Wick's whole premise is they killed my dog, and so now everybody got to die. And so, but this premise is a little bit deeper. If you don't mind the subtitles, go and look for it on Netflix. Mercy for None, and that the title says it all. Everybody can catch this fade.
And listen,
and it's halfway like horror movie for me, because dude walks with a limp.
Yes.
Instead of be running people down, he will limp his ass right over to you and beat you with a pipe, and it's great.
He has this bat that his friend
Negan
That's a
could never.
custom-made bat with a big-ass weight on the end, and he goes into this bunker, and when I tell you he is swinging for the fences,
Yes.
it's 8 episodes, and I think they're hour episodes, so
Yeah.
it's a grind, but it's good. It's uniformly good, and to Joy's point, read the subtitles, because hearing the actors' voices speaking in Korean, I tried watching it dubbed for a second just because I was cleaning. The dub at least on my television, the dub was like 5 seconds off. It was
yeah, and it's annoying.
It was not the business. Yeah, you couldn't do it. You're hearing the punches and then they're not speaking. So just watch it in Korean and read the subtitles. It's definitely better. But well worth it. And there are about 12 seconds of dialogue in English. So, you can look for that in the occasional episode. But Mercy for None and Wonder Man, 2 picks for this week. Please enjoy them while you are not seeing Melania, unless you're in Boston. If you want to take $50 of Jeff Bezos's money, then by all means, go and sleep. It's true, Chan, but honestly, there aren't very many dubs that are really good. Like I thought the Princess Mononoke dub actually wasn't bad because you had real talented top flight Hollywood actors.
Right.
But when you get just generic dubs, it's whack.
Yeah, I don't mind dubs on anime because sometimes I don't feel like reading, and I feel like I miss the action because I'm reading too much.
Yes.
And the mouth didn't really match anyway, right? Everything is blah, 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 blah. Right.
The mouth is so like Jujutsu Kaisen, you definitely like it would just be easier because there's so much going on and the violence is so amazing. It would be easier not to have like the bottom covered up with words.
Listen to the English voices. But when you're watching someone and they're speaking a different language and you notice that what they're saying, and it's not saying the same emotion, the same feeling, and the words don't match the mouth, the human mouth that you're watching, it's disconcerting. And it takes you out of the action, and there's a lot of action. So
there is. I tried watching Squid Game, the first episode of the first season of Squid Game. I tried watching for the dubs because I didn't know if I was going to enjoy it, and I wasn't focused on it. But as soon as I saw what the show was, I immediately went to the Korean. And so that's really the way to consume content from another culture, to be honest. So there it is. I don't have anything else. Joy, do you have anything else?
I have nothing else to talk about, so I guess we're ready to go.
Okay. Well, I am.
What? Paul said ICE is ending its main search for CNN. Good. Yeah, they have fucked around, and now they are finding out.
Yeah. I'm Father Son 5907,
and I'm one of a kind.
And this is Steel Sharpens Trolls. Goodbye, everybody.